Good morning, guys. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Sure, just one sec. Let me set myself up here. All right. Can you see me on the screen? I don't think I'm showing, right? Just me, right? I don't think I'm not on my video. Yeah, hear me. Right. duh, 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 duh. So Miguel, good morning. I'm not, let's hold off on the exhaust concept because I think I need to think about that a little bit more. I went a different direction, which I think is much more promising for two-way price action. That I really want to review with you guys. I have the pound chart right now as sort of an example of the idea that I'm thinking about. So the classic idea that we trade is we actually don't have any of it here because what we're looking for is if we're going to be trading the long side, we want higher lows. If we're trading the short side, well, I guess we do have it here more kind of, like not great, but good enough. We want to trade the short side. We want lower highs, right? So say this, just go with me. This is lower. It's not really lower. It's basically equal. But let's say it's lower than this high. Let's just say it's comparing it to here. Let's say this doesn't exist. We have a nice clear lower high. We short here. It's a super simple, clean, clean event for us, right? But there is another really interesting way to look at this that opens up just a completely separate way of trading for us, which is what I'm looking at right now. Let me explain to you what I think in mind. So basically, to put a shorthand here is when are we buying and when are we lying? Meaning, when is the price true where the break signal is something we want to follow? And when is the price lie and the break signal is something that we want to fade, something that we want to do? In this case, I'm short pound right now at 3,900. Let me explain to you why. So I'm just looking for 95. Let's see, maybe I'll get 95. We'll see. I'm just kind of testing the idea. But the principal idea here is, as I said, when are we buying? When are we lying? Is what is the prior price told us, right? And the thing that you see about the prior price here is that the red segment has made significantly lower lows, right? Significantly lower lows. And so in other words, it's the other way around. Instead of higher lows, we have lower lows on the red segment, right? Red is considerably below below the greens and below the prior reds. And that means that the breakout signal that we get, to the upside is generally going to be a lie, meaning that it's going to be a weak breakout, and it's very likely going to at least come back, 5 pips against a 10 pip stop. And essentially, the premise of this idea is that lying is going to occur at least 70% of the time. And if it occurs 70% of the time, then we have a winning proposition because we're trading with a 1-to-2 risk-reward ratio, right? So if this is a lie setup, that means that the breakout is going to fail, and it's going to fail 7 out of 10 times, then we have a really interesting reverse structure, in addition to a clearly well-defined and really high-quality Momentum structure, because I'll tell you on the momentum side, what I just traded just before the market opened up. This was a crisp, clear trade to the upside over here. You had a obvious, and I think the thing that I'm starting to understand is you really want the obvious. You want something where it's so clear that the red is considerably higher than the prior red, therefore the breakout is true, right? The breakout is true, right? And I think it's probably the same way, the other way, where you want um, the lie, kind of like the fake out lie, to be quite the other way. Now, does it always work? No, of course it doesn't always work. Um, you know, uh, where am I? Where am I looking here? So these are, you always want. Where was I looking to? Or to fade the move. Okay, so yeah, here's a place where you would have said, oh, this is a lie. I'm gonna fade this move at 44, right? And remember, I'm selling 44s, trying to buy 34s back with a 64 stop. Does it get up to 34? I'm not sure. I think it just barely. So I would have maybe lost money on this trade. So it was a pretty clear lie, but uh, you know, but but it worked nevertheless. Here, so I want to find you. Oh, so here's a great example of what I call a super easy lie. So remember our true purchase, like in other words, we have a higher red, very very clean, strong breakout, boom, right? But we could also say, oh, look at this, man. This green is way, way, way above the red. This little red move to the breakdown side is a clear lie. I'm going to buy this. I'm basically going to buy this on the assumption that it's a retrace, pattern, not not a fully corrected pattern. Now, when does this fail? It fails us, of course, if it's a pure V-shaped move. So we have boom, boom, V-shaped move. But we know that most of the time, it's actually big move, retrace, continuation. So we can look at it two ways. We can try to um, capitalize on it on the sort of buying the lows or taking out the highs, and we can actually do probably both. In this particular case, you can easily do both. But it's a sort of a similar idea. Here, I think I don't know if you would have survived the decline. So you came in at 83. No, you would have 20 points wouldn't have done it. You would have eaten the low. So it's uh, as always, reversal patterns are harder to trade than continuation patterns, right? Um, but they offer some really interesting possibilities. You could also look at it this way, where here's the green pattern. This breakout is, or this. I actually got this idea from Karen, because she was basically telling me that sometimes when it hits the highs, it's a great fade. It's not a great continuation. It's a great fade. Well, the question is, when is it a great fade? And it's clear that it's a great fade when it's significantly below the prior segment. Like higher highs usually is going to go towards higher continuation, but a breakout here after a strong break off of here is probably going to be a losing trade, to take to the upside, but a very good fade trade. Sort of similar idea here, where you have a strong sell-off, makes fresh lows, right? Fresh lows. Then your next test of the candle, the candle high over here, is actually a great sell. The big problem here is that you'd have to put out what's a limit order to kind of catch it, because the first level, and then it kind of tests the first level and then breaks down. That may be actually the better way of trading it. I'm just sort of fooling around with the idea of how to play it, and maybe you certainly would have done the same thing here. You basically can say, oh, here's the break. I'm going to put out a limit order to buy this, and trade it back the other way. It's just I find that to be really really interesting as a reverse idea for everything that we're doing, because it offers us kind of a two-way trade on the possibility. Now, in the meantime, while I'm yapping away, my cable idea did not is not working, because I did fake the move. It just came in just a little bit, but not enough. So whether it's going to um, work for me is an open question, and I kind of doubt it right now. It looks like we're having exactly what I talked about, which is the V-shaped rebound. Where it just comes in, and it's actually now a strong V-shaped rebound on this move. So it's not like it always works, and there may be sort of better ways of thinking about this, especially cable today, which is a news-driven currency. Kind of hard to get around it. I actually managed to make a little bit of money just on pure news trading of cable today. But it's an interesting experimental idea, because the patterns and everything that we do with it are are super interesting. Cable, so euro now, by the way, and this is where you would have had to use a little bit of judgment. This is tiny bit lower, but clearly strong up. And I guess the other thing you sort of want to look at is, look, yeah, it's tiny bit lower, but then if you look at it in context, it's significantly higher than the prior low, which means the breakout is pretty legitimate, right? Pretty legitimate. You kind of want to stay with the breakout, and let it go. So the euro breakout here is working. Just looking at all the currency pairs here. So nothing on cable here. It's depending on where yen stabilizes. If it turns back around, then it's going to create a very clean, clear higher low. If it does, then you definitely want to trade it. I mean, going back to the ideas, the higher lows, lower highs are extraordinarily like look at this. You just sort of this to this. I mean, I think maybe sort of to clear away. Gold was lovely 5 minutes ago. What I was going to say is sort of to clear away any ambiguity, right? Maybe the first and foremost thing we really want to think about is the separation. If there is clear, like, I don't know, let's say there is 5 points of separation, like 5 pips, is 43 to 54. It's clearly more than 5. Like bigger, like in other words, if the separation between the 2 points is bigger than our initial profit target, as it's just a shorthand, then it's pretty confident that is a continuation setup. So like if we just sort of go back to the continuation idea, that's sort of like where we're at. And when you're analyzing that relative to this, you, as I said, this is very, very tight. But like this, which is 50 against this, which is 42, clearly has a 5-point differential. So taking this, this long trade certainly worked in your favor, as you did. I'm still, there actually wasn't any decent. I mean, there was one. I had a short euro yen earlier in the day today because, like, here's a good example. Here's the break over here, right? 48, and the prior high is like around 58. So there's like a 10-point differential. So getting in at this level, quite good, right? Getting into this level, you're already, the closer they are together, the tighter they are together, the less significant these lower lows and lower highs here. Like, for example, here's a euro yen that if it turns around, right? And like, again, it's a big thing. It's if it turns around, should provide us a very clean, clear continuation signal, right? So I'll have to watch this, but without even gauging anything, you could see that the difference between the reds is far, far more than just 5 pips, suggesting that there is possibility for, for higher, for further upside action. This, on the other hand, is kind of all over the place. And when when you're looking at this, what this is basically showing you is that you're in range, and really no side is the winning side, and the single best thing to do is to just stay away. You don't have any genuine um, directionality here on this move, right? It's all just blasé. Now, this comes down here. So this is 96, and let's say I'm just going to ignore this one, forget this one, and this one is 98. It's still way too close. It's just still range bound. Like, I mean, it may work, it may break down in the range, it may break out of the range. But the point is, the one trade that breaks out of the range also has 3 or 4 trades that fail, right? That the whole definition of the range is going to have 3 or 4 failures before you have the break. Why participate? Why participate in 3 or 4 failures when you have a clean, clear, structure like something like this, where you have this green against this green, and you have a clean, clear decline, right? So this is 06, and this is like 89, definitely 10 points of difference. And, getting short here gives you a much higher degree of confidence that the thing is working, right? So just letting just kind of structuring this way. I'm still experimenting with the reverse idea and trying to figure out where the true reverse trades are. But on the continuation trades, I think that things are things are clear. That higher highs, lower lows are important differentiators. The breakout helps us get into the trade with a price action, and then the final component is just simply the separation of space. I think that's really that's telling you that there is more than just a tiny curiosity to move. Like right now, there is nothing in NASDAQ that makes me want to go either way, because you see that the differential between the lower highs is kind of tiny. The market really doesn't know what it wants to do, right? Like the break here was a good break. Like we could have taken, I was too busy talking, but we could have taken this short over here, right? We could have said, okay, yeah, because this break to this break was a significantly strong distance, and the short here was at 48 and went all the way down to 28. So you really had some selling pressure on the Nasdaq, right? Conversely, what's going on in the move. So conversely over here, I had very clean, definitive differences. So this was 56 against like 42. So it was like more than 10 points of Dow points between separating these two value sets. So therefore, you definitely wanted to trade the move. And it's that kind of clean distinction that definitely helps. Now, the Dow is always difficult, and you could say, well, here's a separation where you had 43 and 09, lots of big separation between the two. In this particular trade, I'm not sure if you took this at 68, I think it actually did make it to 10 points. Yes, it did make it made just the 10 points before it kind of petered out. So even that would have worked in a clean, distinct manner. Certainly when you had the downside signals and you had very clear separation between the highs and the highs here. So this short over here was a great short, you took it. This short over here was a great short, you took it, right? That is more meaningful than anything else. I'm actually positive on my cable, and I'm just going to blow it out just because, again, I don't have, with the continuation trades, I constantly keep having better and better ideas. With the reversal trades, I'm still trying to, I'm still experimenting, so I really need to have a much better anchoring of what I want to do. But at least on the the interesting thing is when you're looking at the market both ways, you can really start to see what really works. I mean, that's ultimately the question is what really works, and then you just throw away everything else, right? You only want the perfect trade, or at least, you only want the perfect setup, because only the perfect setup gives you the good trade, right? I think that's sort of like, it's actually the opposite of what we do everywhere else in life, because the margin of error in trading is so thin. There's so many things that are stacked against you that you can't afford to take a half-ass. I mean, that's the road to ruin for all of us is the half-ass setup, right? And you want the perfect setup because only that gives you just a marginal chance of a good trade. Like the statement in life is don't let the perfect be the enemy of the good. That's true in everything but in trading, where you actually uh, need the perfect just to be able to achieve the good, right? You guys kind of feeling me on this a little bit? So just for anybody uh, who is not clear, what are the final, or what are what are the latest rules of where we're at on all of this stuff? We want, and I'm not going to go to white. I mean, I'm hoping everybody can kind of see this better. We want for a I'm going to give you a short setup because I don't have a any good clean long setups here right now. I mean, um, I kind of do. I mean, this was a real long setup that I did just before the market opened. So here we are. A long setup requires, and it's very, very difficult to see this as a literally tiny sliver of red here. There's this tiny sliver of red. You want a clean, clear, definitive higher red, or clean, clear, definitive lower green, right? And what does that mean? That means that the difference between the prior red and the current red should be significant. And in the case of S&P, it's got to be at least, the whole point is got to be at least the value of your initial profit. So if my initial profit target is 1 point in the S&P, at least 1 point of separation must exist between the 2 points of higher lows in order for me to have confidence that I want to take the next breakout trade to the upside, which I did, which definitely worked. And similarly, so here we are, by the way, we're actually looking at the S&P. Could I say that, this is 61, this is 62? I guess this is almost legitimate that if the S&P here sends us a sell signal, and we can watch this right now, it would be an okay, not a great, but an okay sell signal, because you can clearly see the difference between the two greens. We want the lower green is at least 1 point in differentiation. So that means that we have confidence that there is a power to the short side. So like we have 19, 20 seconds. Let's watch this a little bit. We can all watch this a little bit. If this indeed stays as a break signal, again, we're going to try and sell this with a 1 point target. So wherever it ends, it has to actually complete, and it's not completing so far. So it did not complete, and there you go. So it did not complete, so there's no trade here. So we have to be very careful not to trigger too early. So we'll see how this is developing. The Dow. Let's see what the Nasdaq is doing. Nasdaq is actually starting to turn, right? Now Nasdaq is having a big pop back up, but there's very little. Now I guess actually, you know what? I take it back. We could trade this because this here against this here certainly has 5 point differentiation. So let's watch the Nasdaq. So maybe Nasdaq is giving us a chance for a long trade. It's not super pretty, but it's good enough that that I would consider it here. So let's just take a look and see what it does. So if it closes here, where we got to watch it where it closes. Okay, so we're long 95.50, and we're going to look for the 500. And there we go. We got the 500, 501, right? So it's nice, clean, straight up, and we got 504, 505. You can see, big trade. So like first trade of the day today, that worked out. Even if you guys were late, you have the 5 points because it continues to keep going up as I'm trading. So yeah, I mean, that's the principle. That's the continuation principle and basis. It's it's not just higher, higher highs or lower lows. It's how much of a difference is there between them in order for me to make a meaningful assessment. This is a good trade or a bad trade, right? Everybody kind of following me on all that? Where's the Dow? Dow doing anything? Nothing much. So Dow is not really doing much. Now, if the Dow turns significantly higher, So, and what I mean is, we're going to start turning. We're going to start printing a green breakout. Then yes, this will be another good signal for us, because the low here is 66. The low here is 56. It's just enough. It's 10 points, which is what is our target on the Dow, to consider this to be a quasi-legitimate setup, right? In the meantime, let's look at the S&P. Is it turning around? S&P is just nowhere near. It's like it's useless. What about the Russell? So the Russell actually, could be a sell setup if the green turn. We get a green and then it turns back down. Then we're going to have potentially a good sell setup, because the green is going to be significantly lower than the prior green, and it's that distance. You can see here that the big distance. This green is significantly lower than this prior green. So selling this short over here on the open was a super easy trade. You came in at 32, went all the way down to 23. I mean, like 10 points. I mean, it just dropped like a stone in your direction. I think, is everybody following my thesis on all of this and kind of trading it this way? Connie, did you take the anybody take the NASDAQ trade? Good job. Yeah. I think, I'm finding I think this is the rule. Unfortunately, I remember doing this before and it was a good idea, and then I kind of veered away from it. And everybody remind me if I start doing this. I am not allowed to trade during live trading. I think that's the key to me making your trades better. I need to not trade, because today I'm not really trading, and I can see the charts better and I can call them as they're there, instead of me constantly being pulled back and forth. I think that's the rules we got to just do. I'm not allowed to trade during live trading, because I'm just, otherwise my eyes go off the screen, and I'm more concerned about my trades than your trades. So that's what we're going to do. So nothing, so far everything on the futes is kind of hanging in. Let's just take a look, and let's take a look at our structure and see what can we do here on FX that may be offering us some interesting opportunities. I mean, so far nothing. Canada is really having a big, so if Canada comes back up, Canada's, man, god damn the Canadian dollar. It's killing me right now, because my kids, well, no, I guess it's good for my kids are earning money in loonies, but now the daddy support is just getting thinner and thinner. The only good part about it is the kids are earning more and more money, so I guess I have to support them less and less. But yeah, I mean, the Canadian dollar has just been a one-way ticket against the U.S. dollar. It's been super strong. Okay, yeah. So we talked a little bit, although here, as I said, here you needed to have a little bit of an interpretive view. So if you had an interpretive view here of the euro, where you said, okay, this is really not the real red. This is the real red. There's definitely at least 5 points between the two of them, right? 43 to 50. So I want to take this. This is a legitimate trade, and that really worked very nicely. Oh, by the way, in cable, my cable crashed a little bit. So I still don't know what the hell I'm doing on my reversal, but it did work on my reversal. Like, in other words, this was a fake. You see it. This was a lie. This wasn't a truth. This was kind of a lie. It was actually kind of both ways, but definitely the lie worked more. Now, sorry, we should actually get short cable here, because this is, you see the difference between this green and this green is significant, and cable is definitely starting to lose its mojo. So, okay, I'm not going to trade, because I said I'm not going to trade. So we're going to get short here at 90, or at 991 actually, and try to target like 86 on the move and see if we can get that. All right. So I will focus on that. as a possible trade, because that's a legitimate continuation trade for us with lots of big gappiness between us. That's actually interesting. So here's euro yen. This euro yen, that's failing. That's just basically this trade. This is a failed trade right now. It's just not working. And it looks like the yen piece that's just dragging this down, because you can see here this was, significantly bigger moves, and it's going to fail. You're not going to. That's the whole point. It's a perfect setup, which only leads to a good trade. So the euro yen trade would not have worked if we had just taken it over here. Again, pound yen. How interpretive do you want to be? Even if you give yourself a little bit of leeway, it's still not that clear a short trade. But so I don't know. This is 96. This is like, nah, it's 98. Not enough of a difference to really trade at this. Euro Aussie, if that turns green, does give us a, so if you use this little red, it's even this little red is 39 against 47, so plenty of differentiation. But clearly these two things were this was a very easy trade. You see how some of these trades are super easy when they work. Euro Kiwi also same kind of a thing. If we turn back around, we have a trade. Pound Swiss was actually a great short trade. I was looking for this short trade all day long, and you can see very clear distinction. This is 630. The here is 36. Just 5 points between it. This short over here works perfectly well in a nice clean fashion. Everything works well. So we can take the move nicely. You actually had two very clean trades. You get short here at 29 for more than 5 points. You get short here at 18 for, again, more than 5 points, just on two clear trades. Now it's actually, turning, and it's not looking nearly as clean and clear for us. Let's go back to indices for just 1 second. Let's see what's going on over here. Nasdaq just came right back down. So that little trade that we just did, we literally got the top of that and came right back down. And I don't have any views on it right now. It's very indeterminate. So Dow starting to sell off also. Everything seems to be turning lower. So looks like the market doing a little bit of a sell-off. Again, it becomes a lot easier if this thing comes back up and fails at a much lower level. If it does that, then we're ready to roll. If it doesn't do it, then we got nothing. This actually would have been. Did I miss this trade? We're looking for this failure. I said there was a 1 point differential here. We should have taken the trade. Did I totally miss this trade? I'm sorry, guys. I was looking elsewhere, but I think I said, because we were looking for this thing to kind of. Remember we tested it over here. It came back up, and then it finally broke here. So that trade, sort of the principle of it. I'm sorry, we didn't trade this, but this definitely would have confirmed our thing. Because remember, I said there was a 1 point differential here, so if we traded this down to the 1 point, that easily would have made the point down. Cable is just kind of floating, so we're just we're pretty much at entry here on this move. It went a little bit against us. Now we're trying to see if this thing can come in. We basically need 86 to make our fives. But yeah, I mean, it's It's hard to see. I mean, nothing really setting up here. What was the, oh, where I was looking for Euro Kiwi to turn. I was looking for Euro Aussie to turn. Euro Aussie. I mean, they're starting to turn. So, you know, may have a couple of opportunities here. I'm trying to see if that's pound Swiss. This was a sorry. This is another. I'm sorry. I keep. The problem is I'm just trolling across too many ideas. But here we are at 78 against 92. This is a clean, clear sell here too. We should have sold the Dow 3 minutes ago. It's just you know, me switching around between currencies and indices. I think probably what I'm going to have to do is we're just going to have to put like Dow, NAS, and then I wonder if where's my layout here? Let's go to a 4-screen layout. Let's see if we can do this intelligently. So oh, what is it? Huh. Wonder how I can do this. Okay, let me see if I can do this. So this would be MNQ. And I want, how do I want this? My template. Yeah, what is my template? This is a save template. Save indicator templates. Combo. Why is this like not settings? I'll do the background. So this is Dow, this is NAS. I guess we can put like cable. Oh, cable. Oh no, cable's not going our way. Sorry, I got all excited, but it's not going our way now. Oh, Euro Kiwi. I was looking at Euro Kiwi as a breakout, and I want to apply. Sorry, I'm just trying to just apply all this stuff so we have like all 4 of them working at the same time. Oh, and then this. Okay. All right, cool. That's so Euro Kiwi could be the next. Here we go. So let's watch Euro Kiwi here. So we got like 6, 7 seconds. So if this holds, we're basically in. We should be in it. It's got to hold though. Okay, we're in at like 41, just looking for 45. Let's see if we can get 45 out of Euro Kiwi on this move. Because remember, what is it that we seeing here on the Euro Kiwi? As I said to you, a significantly higher red pattern, right? So let's see if that trades for us. I'm going to close the pound at like 87, just because I'm not, it seems to be struggling a little bit. So let's close it out at 87, take the 3 on the pound. Now let's watch this one. Let's see if this one can take us to 45. I'm going to put this I'm just going to put the pound on this one just for us to keep an eye on. Oh, pound actually totally collapsed. So I don't know if you guys held on, you actually made full bank on the pound. The pound just totally, as I was like, the perfect time to always fade me is to never listen. Anybody trade the pound? Oh, really? Oh. Thank you so much. If I apply these indicators to entire layout. Oh, Karen, you're the best. I can't believe you know. But it's still, I'm still getting the crappy little, I still need the settings. Okay, so great. Okay, so anyways, thank you, Karen. That saved me a fuck ton of time. Okay, say okay. Anyways, cable just completely collapsed after just kind of playing with us. So I don't know if you guys traded that. Gotta obey the signals, right, Damien? Yeah. Damien got in, he made money. Juan got in, he made money. Good for you. So Euro Kiwi kind of putzing around a little bit. We have to be a little bit patient. This is a very volatile pair too. So it's I was gonna say you kind of have to give this like 20 points of breathing room, just because it's got a lot of spread and a lot of volatility on the move. But it's a decent setup, and you got to respect the setup as it stands. Let me see how the Euro Aussie trade is doing. Oh, so the Euro Aussie trade actually did better. I should have. Remember we had 2 of them. And I said Euro Aussie is also setting up, so that was at 59, and that's clearly trading up on the move. So if you took Euro Aussie, you would have done better. I should have been watching both of them. But this is actually very good. I want to. I'm going to save this layout, because now we can kind of follow both equities and indices just on a straight up, clean look, and and trade them down. I don't know if any of you traded the Euro Aussie, Euro Kiwi pairs, but one of them is working, one of them is kind of floating against us a little bit. The cable moved. The other thing, let's just in the meantime, let's look through what else is showing up on the chart. So that broke really hard. Euro is putzing around. So it's interesting here. So if Euro actually, when I'm watching the Euro, I know it's a small chart, but that's the price we got to pay for the 4 chart layout. So the Euro, if it starts to break out, it's going to give us another strong break signal. This is actually, by the very definition that it gives a break signal, means that there was a tiny little red area here, which means that we definitely have a higher breakout on the Euro, and that it's worth it for us to follow that trade if we get the Euro breaking out to fresh highs here. But we need that move. Also trying to see where the Euro Yen is. Euro Yen is kind of really broke down. Yen has just really started to break down. What happened to the yen? U.S. yields are down by 55 basis points. Yeah. So yen is sort of very, very negative now. Right now, the yen is going to, if yen comes back up and then makes a green area and then fails, then it becomes a sell. It becomes a really interesting, interesting possibility for a sell. Otherwise, not much else is going on. Let's just look through the indices. So I basically missed two trades. I missed the S&P trade to the short side, which would have been a good clean point for us. I missed the Dow trade to the short side, which would have been a good clean point for a good clean 10 points for us, right? We did bank the Nasdaq trade to the upside. We did bank the pound trade. What is this? This is MYM. I need to go to Nasdaq again. Okay, just watching NAS. So for Euro Aussie, you need 64. It's almost there. Gonna stay patient with this thing. Let's see if the Euro Aussie actually does make the move. Euro Kiwi, we're in it at 40, and we're looking for 45. Oops, sorry. Damn it. This is the problem I always have here. So we're gonna go to NQ here. This one, Euro Kiwi. Trying to hold on. We just need 45. So Euro Aussie kind of gets done. So I'm gonna count Euro Aussie as +5, right? It actually definitely gets done. Euro Kiwi, I still need to see 45 on this thing to make it happen. But at least you guys, like, do you agree? I know that it's smaller charts, but at least if we have a 4-chart layout, we can at least follow many more instruments during live trading, right? You guys with me on that? Peter got 5 on cable. Everybody got short cable. I have new the combo indicator is has been updated. All you got to do is just simply apply it. So it's going to go. So okay, let's count. By the way, Euro Kiwi. Let's just take the +3. So then or +4 over here. Mainly because we're coming to the end of the session, and I don't want to focus on it too much. So I'm actually, we hit every single FX trade today. So you get 5 here, 5 here, 5 in cable, 5 in Nasdaq, and I missed the 2 indice trades, but they're all they were all good. They were all really, really, really good. Yeah, the 4-chart layout, 4th one just needs zooming in a bit. Are you talking about the Euro Kiwi one? Is that the one? I'm just sort of yeah. Would that be good? Let's see if this is if this is the zoom level that everybody is comfortable with, right? Is that pretty good? Should I do a little bit more? I'm kind of I have to have the density of data at the same time as clarity, so it's always a trade-off between the two. Yeah, I mean, so Damien is looking for longer term time frames. That could definitely work. We really haven't even touched the fractal nature of the setup, meaning that playing it on hourly, which on the hourly charts it works super well, or even on the 4-hour charts as far as kind of longer term bigger trades. And we could next week, I think we can start doing that. It's just that we are what I was going to say, right now we're just refining. We're always refining on the 1-minute chart, because once you get the 1-minute chart down cold, everything else falls into place. So yeah, I mean, layups are definitely on on a shorter time frame. But even with all the misses and everything else, it's still it's still been a very, very good day. And I think that's the real interesting insight here is just ignore everything that looks medium, like anything that doesn't look super clear. And super clear is defined by super big differences between the higher highs, higher lows, super big differences between the lower lows. And by big, we mean at least the value of your initial profit target on whatever time frame you're going. By the way, look, we finally everything is taking off, right? The euro is really starting to work on the crosses. So for those of you who have a lot more patience than me and can hold on trades, you obviously have a lot more P&L here, because I mean this P&L now is +10, this P&L is now +7, and it just keeps floating around. You can totally see it, right? So I think that's a pretty good ending to the week, guys. All currency pairs hit. We hit the indices, even even though we missed a couple of more opportunities. But the most important thing is we're really refining the setup to its pure essence. And I think the most interesting insight I had today was that you do have to have a perfect setup if you want to have even a modicum of a chance of a good trade, right? So any questions? We got, I'm not going to be with you tomorrow. We got no Zooming tomorrow because Kathy is going to be doing Trader Fest. Trading Battle. If you guys, I gotta ask. I'm gonna ask Kathy. I think it's okay. If you guys want to attend, I'm gonna try and get a link to this thing, and we'll post it in the room, for the Trading Battle, and you guys can all attend. It'll be a lot of fun. All right. Okay, my friends. Everything looking good? Who traded? I'm actually curious. What did everybody trade? I know a lot of people traded cable today. I know most of you guys caught most of you caught Nasdaq. Any of the other currencies that you guys caught? Anybody caught the Euro Kiwi, Euro Aussie crosses, or anything else? Doji. Oh, so Damien, I mean, I'm kidding too, but this setup works so well on crypto. You'd be shocked. I mean, it works so well on crypto. It's just that I absolutely hate crypto, but it is like a perfect setup. Like, I mean, obviously you have to, on Bitcoin, you have to use like $300-400 stops, and everything else. Bitcoin is coming into the mini futures, and oh yeah, and I'm still gold, right? Karen, gold, my nemesis. I still haven't touched gold. But actually, so let's before we go, so let's look at gold with this very, very strict parameter of like, let's look at gold here. Okay, we'll go to gold on the Euro Kiwi trade, on the Euro Kiwi chart. Where's my gold? Okay, here's gold. So it's like gold actually, if it comes in red, comes back up, it's going to be a very, very clear, definitive trade to the upside, right? Like here's a red, here's a clean, clear, big red. Karen, what are you trading? Like what is a profit target on gold for you? It's 93. It's 92, and then it comes back up like really, really big time. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the problem was that this particular signal was actually lower red. So I don't know if you would have taken it. You could have taken the signal. Oh no, actually you didn't have a signal. You had no signal here. This is just a little bit of lower red. So the setup here, wouldn't have given you the signal that you wanted. Is there a way, Karen, do you see how this chart I mean, I know how to do this, but it would require me to configure every single chart. You know how this has like all these setting configurations? Is there a way to say, I want this chart? I guess not. There's no way to like, so stupid. I want all my charts to look the same way. Oh, there's a settings template. Oh, okay, let's see if we can do this. Okay, so settings, template, or apply to all. Let me see that. Let me see that. Oh, yeah, baby. All right, cool. Now we're in business. Now we're in business. Yeah, I mean, gold really, really took up. I mean, the point is that when you're looking at gold right now, so okay, the setup would have missed the move because it was lower highs. But if the gold now comes back down to like a little bit of a red and then comes back up, then you certainly have a very legitimate trade in gold. You definitely have a legitimate trade in gold. We'll have to see how it trades out as the day goes by, right? But otherwise, everything else definitely played out pretty well today. Now it's just, we're kind of in consolidation mode. Nothing is really moving. We'll have to give it a couple of hours for prices to find some direction and take the next setups as we go. Anyways, guys, thank you so much. If I can find the link to Trading Battle, I will give it to you guys. If not, I'll see you guys, everybody on Monday. But enjoy the weekend. Otherwise, I'll see everybody later. Have a great day.